Episode 24, he'd successfully counterattacked. Anyone who played League of Legends knew that Machiavelli and Prince's teamwork was very clever and could easily defeat their opponents. They crossed the line fiercely, trying to force Keith and Daria out of the experience zone. At this time, the system's voice in Keith's mind rang again. Optimal logic activated. Keith pulled himself together again and used his powerful skill to calculate their position and Daria's movement trajectory. But the others didn't know what he was doing. What is he doing? Is this a new move? If you can't beat them, you should at least force them to leave and let the others attack them. He's at most a gold rank. He's a very weak contestant. What a shame. The audience criticized Keith openly. Although Daria continued to interact with them calmly, in her heart, she felt very helpless. She had originally intended to thank Keith and help him obtain some points. In addition, if she helped Keith win, it would also show her outstanding skills, but she didn't expect that they'd be on the back foot only a few minutes into the game. And even worse, it had happened on a live broadcast. It seemed like she would lose a lot of fans tonight. The competition was in a deadlock for a moment, and the energy of the cannon was about to be depleted. Daria wanted to replenish some energy while their opponent wasn't being as aggressive, but the moment she lifted the gun barrel, Machiavelli appeared out of nowhere and ignited the cannon. It was obviously a trap he'd set up. Daria felt that things were utterly hopeless. She was still within range of Prince's attack, but she didn't expect Keith to move even faster. The moment Machiavelli appeared, Keith appeared as well. This meant Machiavelli didn't have a chance to use any skills besides stun and ignition. At the same time, Keith used his new skill to step on Prince. Prince, who hadn't used any skills at the beginning, wasn't even comparable to a super soldier. Keith, on the other hand, ignited Machiavelli. The tables had turned in an instant. Daria finally reacted. She pulled away from them and started attacking Machiavelli like crazy. Machiavelli couldn't use his skills, so he couldn't leave. He caused Keith to lose some of his health points and fell down unwillingly. Prince, on the other hand, had already run away when he saw that the situation was turning against them. Keith had successfully counterattacked using high-end skills to defeat a pro player. Daria screamed in excitement. Her followers were silent for a moment before they began to praise Keith enthusiastically. But others thought that Keith had just been lucky. The newbie couldn't possibly have such fast reactions and perfect execution. In the PT training base, the two young men looked at each other and saw the shock in each other's eyes. The coach happened to be there and saw their reaction. He walked over curiously. Did he get lucky? Apollo frowned and said, "It's possible. Wait, let's go back in and see." The audience fell silent as Keith reminded Daria to move. Be careful when you attack again later, because Prince will be coming for you." Sure enough, as soon as Daria started to fire, Prince arrived, but Daria was already prepared. She left the moment the flag was inserted. But Prince was a professional player after all. He could appear quickly when he used his skills, and he picked Daria up. Unfortunately, there was no one else around. Machiavelli, who wanted to catch up, was sent flying by Keith's giant bug. The level 6 bug caused a lot of damage. Machiavelli's health dropped low, and he was instantly killed. Keith's gaming skills were smooth, as if his every move was the result of a careful set of calculations. It was so coherent, it was unbelievable. The master of the game proficiency gave Keith extraordinary operating skills. He also knew the experience, attack, and other stats of every soldier who died. He knew the damage of a hero like the back of his hand. His optimal logic allowed him to predict the opponent's next move ahead of time. Everyone in the audience was shocked, and so was Daria. What a terrifying calculation and reaction ability. Daria screamed, "Keith, you're so strong." He really is powerful. The audience cheered for Keith, flooding the chat with comments. What kind of magical gameplay is this? Who said that Keith was a disgrace just now? Come out. Where'd all those people who were insulting Keith go? The audience was stunned by Keith's gameplay and were now all defending him. In the PT club base, a coach said to the player beside him, "You know anything about this person?" The player shook his head. The boss, who had appeared behind them, suddenly said, "Aqua, do you think they're lucky? Or do they actually have talent?" As one of the top players in the nation, Aqua had a good eye. He smiled bitterly and said, "Boss, there's no way this is his first time. Do you believe anyone could be that lucky?" The boss paused in surprise for a second before turning to the leader and saying, 3 minutes. I want to know everything there is to know about this guy." After showing off such incredible skills, the rest of the team all gave Keith a thumbs up. Some of them even asked if he wanted to go to the monsters to level up. Keith was only a supporting player, but his teammates all admired him. It was a big achievement so early on. Keith was calm in his heart. He'd already expected this kind of situation. But Daria looked at the growing popularity of her live stream and laughed loudly. "Keith, you're a genius. I've decided from now on, I'll bring you to play every day. Together, we'll become #1 in the country." You fulfilled Daria's wish. Wish value +1. Current progress 6 of 10. Daria boasted shamelessly. The audience was confused. Keith smiled and said, "Oh, let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet." His voice was gentle and pleasant to the ears, and there was a hint of playfulness in his tone. It captivated much of the audience instantly, and the comments began to flood in. "Keith, why don't you start your own live stream? I'll give you a gift." "Keith, do you have a girlfriend? I'll be your girlfriend." The audience was very enthusiastic. Even the people who insulted Keith started to praise him. All kinds of gifts were flying around in Daria's stream. There was even a new idea called Keith Forever, who had given her 2 rockets. Keith was already amassing his own fan base.